We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Countdown to blast off.
On the morning of January the 10th, 1996, protective covers are rolled back to reveal the space shuttle Endeavour. Endeavour is the newest of NASA's 4 orbiters. Commissioned after the Challenger disaster, it made its first flight in May 1992. Early tomorrow morning, Endeavour will blast off in darkness from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida on its 10th mission, STS-72. There will be 6 astronauts on board, 5 American and 1 Japanese. The main aim of the mission is to capture a Japanese satellite called the Space Flyer Unit, which has been orbiting the Earth for the past 10 months.
Structures observers configure the walkways and platforms and let me know when you're complete.
So about 4 o'clock this morning, I'm going to be up there sitting in the left seat out there.
I know.
That's my window. See it up there?
I see it. Did they clean it for you? That's great.
It's going to be spectacular.
The astronauts have brought their wives and lovers to the launch pad. This will be the last time they will see one another until the mission is completed in 10 days' time.
But you see there's like thermal blankets?
Yeah.
There are little blankets that get sewn on. Isn't that beautiful? The elevator down here, go up to that catwalk there.
Fabulous. Great. I want to go with. Thank you.
Great. One more look.
All right.
Coachloads of the crew's friends and relatives have been bussed in by NASA. They've all had a thorough medical checkup with a NASA doctor, but even so, they aren't allowed near the crew. Fear of last-minute infection keeps the astronauts on the far side of a 15-foot ditch. Saying goodbye in public like this has become an astronaut's ritual. Koichi Wakata's relatives have traveled all the way from Japan for the occasion.
What you saying? He's just thanking everybody for being here.
It was just like this for the crew of Apollo 13. And 10 years ago this month, the crew of Shuttle Challenger said goodbye to their families and friends in exactly the same way. 73 seconds into that flight, Challenger exploded, and all on board were lost. No one talks about it today, but everyone remembers. Because flight STS-72 will be launched at night, the astronauts sleep during the day in their soundproof, windowless crew quarters. They wake up about 5 hours before the launch. Astronaut Joe Tanner is in charge of the crew for the launch.
Okay, now, if we have to abort or scrub for some reason, you may disconnect everything except O2 and COM if you so desire. Stay in your seats and follow the procedures in the checklist. OTC will direct you what to do. We'll get back there as soon as we can and get the hatch open, but that's still going to take 30 minutes or more. MS3, if you could, before we get there, pin the hatch, we'd appreciate it. And there is a challenge to report that to the commander and him to report it to the OTC.
Okay.
If you have an emergency for some reason, now this would be the real thing. Mode 1, be slow and deliberate, don't hurt yourself. You're not as concerned about the orbiter this time, however, as you were before, because you probably need to get out in a hurry. So don't slow down at the expense of the orbiter. If it's really got a problem, you need to get out of there.
caught on the back.
Suiting up for the mission takes about an hour. The astronauts will wear their pressurized pumpkin suits until they are in orbit. These suits were brought in after the Challenger disaster to give the astronauts a better chance of survival in an emergency at takeoff or landing.
Hello. Sir, I can help you.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Something. Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Sit up just a little.
Here I am, push again.
I was about to sit.
3.
It's 35 years now since astronauts first journeyed into space, and the superstitions and traditions which have grown up over the years are meticulously observed.
Ready to lose it, Clark?
Yeah.
That's working.
I know how to do this. Yep. We've been practicing all those other times, so we can do it right this time. When we hook up all the water stuff, we'll be all ready to go.
You can handle your card. Yeah. Next on top. Is that it?
Remember when you play ball? You probably played ball in high school and stuff. Remember when you're in the locker room before the game, waiting to go out? It feels like that, you know?
Yeah, it is. Like the championship game.
Trying not to know. Didn't your high school play for the state championship in Madison Square Garden?
In Boston Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the year I played, we lost. The year after I left, I won. What's that tell you?
You know what? Koichi could.
Yeah, he sure could. The man could.
We've got 13 minutes. We're in good shape.
No one can remember the origins of Possum's Fargo, a card game played only by astronauts ready to go to the launch pad. Tradition dictates that the commander has to be dealt a losing hand before the team can leave.
Terrified. Yeah, already.
Ace high.
Jack high.
You're out! Hey!
We can leave.
We're ready to go! Hey, we did the usual. Hold it in the commander. That's good.
What was on our side still?
Yeah.
Yeah? Mine looking all right?
Yeah, I scratched that out and wrote Love Steve Spurrier on it.
Ready to go. It's been a long journey, but...
This is it. Finally here. Waited a lifetime for this one. I feel outstanding.
Who won?
Let's go fly.
We're out of there.
Mo's still on our side.
Hey, great.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good. Weather breeze.
Feel great. Let's get the show on the road.
Yeah.
Ready for it.
Yeah, I'm feeling great. Looking forward to it.
All right. Wait, 10 minutes. Quick 1 to 15.
Yeah. Quick 1 to 15.
Right.
3 on 3.
Quick 1 to 15.
By 1.
By 1.
Win by 2.
Just a quick one. Just a quick one.
Hey, wait a minute. Last chance to get hurt. That's right. Winston, no jumping.
Yeah. You have a safe trip. I'll see you when you get back.
Okay, see
It was
you.
great working with you guys.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. See you now. See you. Thank you. All right, thanks a lot.
Superstition has it that Dolores Green and her kitchen staff must bid the crew farewell from the kitchen doorway.
Hi, guys.
All right.
Where's my man? There's my man. I gotta get the man. I gotta get the man. Thanks, guys. See you when you come back.
All right. We got to fend for ourselves for 9 days.
9 days. We got to cook ourselves.
Who's going to make the beds?
Yeah, we were getting out of it. We're almost like Pavlov's dogs now when we show up in crew quarters. I just get hungry.
I know, go right to the kitchen.
I really get hungry as soon as I walk in crew quarters.
I started throwing socks on the floor,
Remember what Miss Nancy said, stay close together.
Yeah, we'll gather up right here before we head on out, and just let me lead out, but remember keeping it reasonably spaced here. Okay. Right.
Good morning, sir. I'm just saying it like it ought to be.
The White Room is a canopied platform 195 feet above the Earth, where technicians do final suit checks before the crew climb on board Endeavour.
It's just the way it ought to be. The potential is there.
Well, maybe. We'll see what happens.
The folks that have the decision-making capability ought to realize that, don't you think?
Yeah, I think they should.
All right, sir.
I think there's a whole lot of things they ought to realize that they don't seem to sometimes.
They will. I'm going to pull just a little slack out of this. Not enough to hurt, just enough to let you know it's there, sir.
All right, sounds good.
Jett, you're doing the Japanese flag. I like
The children of the crew are kept busy drawing a picture to celebrate the mission. The astronauts have left behind gifts of specially designed jewelry and trinkets for their families.
Okay, now you have a shuttle and that one's bigger. Did you get that somewhere else?
I have no idea. Jim got it somewhere.
You know what I mean? Like the other ones are that size.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to have
33
TV
minutes,
in
but now they've got the 2 built-in holds that are, what, 5 minutes each?
And then 9 minutes.
9 and 5 or something.
Jenny, hold still.
There's
what we got for you.
Turn it right side down. Your very own spacewalker.
All set. All right, thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, good luck. I'll tell you what, come over here. I'll tell you wait.
Hey, good morning, Joe.
Good morning. Welcome to Endeavour.
All right, how you doing?
Great. Fantastic. Okay, you know the routine.
Okay, watch my head.
I'll help you with your bottles. Right hand goes well right here, left hand goes well over here.
Okay,
Yep.
got that one. Got that one, you ready?
Yep.
Let's go.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep. Let down and make yourself comfortable.
Okay, yeah, I'm down there.
Okay, you're pretty well centered now. Open the parachute, sir.
Feels great.
All righty, here we go.
Of course, if you're too comfortable, we'll try to change that.
As a matter of fact, I think we probably can get that done.
Exercise complete.
That's what took up my book. I'd have like, 3 or 4 times.
We're not going to have that this time. I mean, I'm going to sign it today.
Just one time.
Okay. That's great. Whoops, this pen's not working. Can I check on it? Should I just use another one?
Yeah. Well, these are all
It's a
new
government
pens.
pen.
All right, that feels great. All righty, we're going to take your headdress away now and put your helmet on.
Okay, temps are in.
You got your head. And please check your HIU position.
That's great.
All right, sir. Comm is connected, sir.
Okay. Give me that quick.
Good, very good.
Okay.
Look in here.
Gloves.
Always feels good when you have in a suit, get strapped in the vertical, and move the bridge.
I need to sign the book too. It's a tradition.
Yeah, is that a tradition too?
That's a tradition, yes.
Well, no,
And they'll put our patch up here.
And the pennies are usually for the smaller kids to keep them occupied.
Yeah.
We'll keep it. It's put my data file in it. Okay. Good morning, sir. How are you? I'm doing great.
The astronauts are strapped into their seats in Endeavour about 3 hours before launch. They will be left completely alone. A safety crew in a bunker 3 miles away will be the nearest help if things go wrong.
It's got its lumbar just a little too high.
Good morning, sir.
Joe T.
Welcome to Endeavour.
Hey, it's looking good.
It's a wonderful morning. All right, you know the routine here?
Yeah.
Well, turn your head, help you with the box. All right.
Launch control at the Kennedy Space Center is in charge of the countdown. As soon as Endeavour is on its way, control will switch to Houston.
Go. PTC. Go. LPS. Go. Houston flight.
Flight is go.
Mila. Mila entity.
Miles go. Miles go.
LRD. Go. STM. STM go. Safety console.
There it is. And how much time left?
It's getting close.
Good question. Shuttle? Oh, I see it.
PLTOTC, clear caution and warning memory. Verify no unexpected errors.
Just indicates the hold switch on and countdown clock will hold at T-minus 1 minute, 57 seconds. OTC caution warning, display no unexpected errors. OTC copy.
We're ready. Are you
we
kidding?
almost at the 9-minute hold? Where's something to drink?
Mom. I think there's some out there.
Yeah, almost.
Where?
No.
What?
Gonna light up the sky.
Just light up the sky. It's just gonna like leap off the pad.
I was worried last night, but I'm not worried anymore.
Well, that's good.
I was worried that something was going to go wrong, but it seems like there's so little that can go wrong.
Glad you're not worried. It's great.
Sean told me to be near you tomorrow.
I want you near me.
That's because that's what I told them. Brian's first launch. Their daddy's
But all
first
the
launch.
monkeys have to do.
They want you guys wanted to stand with your friends, and I wanted you right near me.
Fearless is go for auto sequence start.
Alright, sir. LS, we're going to give it a shot. 25. Good luck. Show them our stuff.
20.
Come on, auto. Auto again. Here we go.
15.
10. Start. Fearless go for main engine start. Okay, guys. 3 to 100. 102 and auto. 102 and auto. 1500air.com on OIF count 20721 room. Roll the program, Houston. I'll be roger roll, Endeavour. Which pushes the throttle down at 0.73. It's like a daytime from the mirror. Hey, here they come. Well, this is great. Yeah. Okay, throttling down. Looking good. 87. It's coming through. Up on the Mach here, ready, gonna check, ready, mark, right on speed. Okay, I'm a little bit above you, but not, okay. Next is throttle up at 1.33. Okay, we're at 1.2, 28,000 feet, guys, downstairs. 1.3 engine should be coming. Okay, here they come. Here they come. You can feel them. We're at 104, looking good. Endeavour, Houston, go with throttle up. Roger, go with throttle up. Okay, how about a comp check? One clear. Loud and clear? Okay, good. Amigos are converging. Clear. Performance nominal. Roger, nominal. I got you all over. Got the sign, got the sign.
Oh my God. We're in space.
Welcome to space, guys.
Congratulations, 4 new ones.
No, I said welcome to space.
Communication relays, and, you know.
Yeah.
They went on. I mean, it actually left the ground. Gosh, it was awesome. That would be nice. It was really
Yeah,
awesome.
I know. I mean,
That's what I want to see now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually up there. I'm down here.
It's real hard to do that.
That's scary too, right? So he's really up there.
I know.
They're up there.
They're
They're having fun. They're already
really
having fun.
They're already having fun?
They are having fun.
Well, they got to get out of their suits.
They gotta get out of their suits. And I always worry about those 3 Gs, you know.
Yeah, well, that's past.
Can't believe he went the first day. It's like I didn't believe it because he's never gone on the first try, you know.
Yeah, but, you know, that's great. Everything was looking so good. First flight of the year.
Can't believe we could see it so long.
Yeah, I know. Because when I saw a day flight, you could only see it up until the SRB separated, and then, you know, that was it. And
I guess it wasn't really cloudy. It wasn't cloudy either, was it?
No.
It wasn't a
Clear.
cloud. Did you see the ripple effect in the clouds?
Yes, I did.
Wasn't that fantastic?
I saw that.
No, another thing is, during the day, it looks like it goes straight up.
Yes, but it doesn't.
Now you can see it. Just, yeah,
how it curves. Yeah, and
inclination.
is it falling off? You know, no.
Yeah, it was like it's the curvature of the Earth, you know, and it looked like it was like
just 60 miles or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know,
You finished all your beans?
Yes, I
I think Sean likes those beans.
You mean I need to go get some beans?
Yeah, you got to get some beans because it's good luck.
Oh, okay.
For every launch,
Uh-huh.
the guys prepare these beans and they eat them to celebrate after it's over. You at least
Even
have
at
to
5
smell
in the
some.
morning?
Even at 5 in the morning.
All right. You don't like the beans? Well, it's tradition. You had to.
I had to have one.
Okay. And you had one.
Uh-huh.
You fulfilled your obligation.
That's right.
One bean.
I'm glad I don't have to go through this again.
Let's watch the replay. It'll be much easier to watch than the real thing.
Gee, I like that.
Yes, it was.
It's remarkable. Remarkable.
I was feeling really
And
sorry for my guests, you know. I really had
I think the night launch thing, everybody's always told me it was a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I kept telling Steph, we're going, we're going, we're going. And we went. So if I say we're going, believe me. No, I probably won't work twice in a row. I probably curse myself. But Brent's having a great ride right now. Great ride. Very great ride. I'm not gonna eat.
Yeah, this looks like one that goes on the bottom.
This is a wall sleeper bag. It's best.
It took the shuttle 8 minutes to travel 287 miles into space and begin its first orbit of the Earth.
All right, whoever I bump that.
Unpacking for the first time in zero gravity can take some getting used to, but fun and games in their new weightless environment is magical, especially for the first-time flyers.
I need one more pin up here.
Listen, I can share this again with
You gonna get it? You gonna get it? Uh-oh. We better get the straws on it fast. It's going unstable. I'll grab it. That's great. It sticks to the straw. Break off! Break off! Break off!
Oh! Nice catch.
A couple of pros in action.
Okay, I think he's ready.
Thanks, Koichi.
Alright, thanks, Koichi.
Yeah.
What do we have? Koichi sushi?
When Endeavour was launched, the Japanese Space Flyer Unit was over Australia, 8,000 miles ahead of the shuttle. But Endeavour, orbiting the Earth at 17,000 miles an hour, is catching up rapidly.
We better catch it again.
Capturing the satellite and storing it in the shuttle's cargo bay for the trip back to Earth is the highlight of the mission. But the astronauts don't have a part to play until the shuttle has almost caught up with the SFU.
I think it's going to be time to start conserving stuff.
When they're within a few miles of the satellite, Brian Duffy will take manual control of his spaceship, and Koichi Wakata will get ready to capture the satellite with the shuttle's robot arm.
Go for TI. GC.
Mission Control in Houston is now in charge of Endeavour.
DC flight, go, no go for TI? Go.
Rendezvous.
Flight Director Brian Austin has teams of specialists monitoring the spacecraft and its systems 24 hours a day. The Japanese SFU satellite is controlled by the Sagamihara Operations Center in Japan. The NASA team, who abbreviate everything, call this the SOC.
Hey, Capcom, the SOC is ready. Control center's ready. SFU's ready. We'll leave the rest up to the crew.
Endeavour Houston, we've gone around the room here. The SOC, MCC, and the satellite are all ready for the TI burn.
The Capcom is the only person in Mission Control who talks to Endeavour.
Flight Director Brian Austin has pulled his flight controllers here in Mission Control, and with the consent of Japanese flight controllers at the Sagamihara Operations Center south of Tokyo, has given a go for the terminal initiation burn. This will be a 15-second firing of the orbital maneuvering system engines to precisely put Endeavour on an intercepting trajectory where it will wind up about 2,000 feet beneath the Space Flyer unit a short time from now for the final phase of the approach and grapple of the satellite by Japanese mission specialist Koichi Wakata.
Brian Duffy is within a mile of his target. He has control of Endeavour now. He fires his jet engines to adjust his position and closes in on the Japanese satellite.
Okay, coming up on just under a minute to the satellite.
Endeavour Houston for SFU. The SOC is going to try some off-nominal commanding. They'll deploy the SAP slightly and then try a retract. You can observe.
The wing-like solar panels are supposed to retract and latch against the SFU, but commands from the SOC in Japan produce no response from the satellite. The main aim of the mission is in jeopardy.
Set GNC timer counting to set 2, which is set 1 plus 30 minutes.
Okay, I get that.
And then B to B7. Any marks yet, Leroy?
We don't have a great deal of insight here.
But SFU flight payloads?
Yes, go ahead.
I never saw the rotation direction change from retract to extend.
Oh, okay, let me check.
Yeah, I saw it too. That does not look good.
Houston payload testing flight on prime up.
Go ahead.
Yes, we. There was no rotation change.
Okay, we have about 7.5 minutes. What is the plan?
Just don't wait for
that, please.
NASA staff have trained for a problem like this, and they want to move immediately to an alternative plot where explosive bolts are detonated and the panels blown off into space. The Japanese SOC have to go through a lengthy consultation process before they can agree. But the satellite is battery-powered, and the batteries are fading fast. Houston is impatient for an answer from the SOC, and the astronauts are temporarily ignored.
Both of them failed. It almost tells you that you're doing something wrong, not that the system, two systems have failed, two independent systems.
Or that it's been up there so long you just don't have the tolerances to show the micro switch.
Well, you know what we've seen though too, you know, solar arrays, they tend to warp and bend, so maybe as you bring them in, that force just can't get it in all the way. I asked them, can you drive both motors simul to overcome that force? They can do it.
Cannot?
They cannot. They can enable one or the other when they go, they just switch back and forth. Absolutely no way to enable both motors and try it, huh? Absolutely cannot. Tells you something's weird. You got two independent systems here, and neither one will latch.
Top
tolerance thing, they just don't have enough to get it all the way in there.
They might what?
Does it matter when you jettison whether they're in or out? Is there one that's better than the other?
Go ahead.
We send a command to redeploy once again, and then we will decide.
Okay. Systems payloads initiate a dialogue with their systems on this.
We don't know how to deal with this in the bay. We don't want to deal with this in the bay.
Right. And you just leave it in the attitude, let them both go.
Yes, they're in the right attitude now.
Wait 20 minutes.
Yes. They're in the right attitude now.
Something's turning off the motors.
Yeah. So, you know, it could be the mark.
What turns off the motors?
Well, we're trying to determine the exact nature of our situation right now, and are working that in parallel with all these other activities.
Okay.
If you chose to pick them up and then decided you had to jettison, that would be messy, wouldn't it? The timeline, everything is built to go get rid of them right now, and I really want to do that. I'll give them about 15 more minutes.
Second, please. I'd like to know a decision now from the SFU customer. I'm concerned about the battery life is already at 115, and if we're going to do the jettison and have some pad in that, we need to go ahead and perform that activity.
Okay, I understand, but our managing people are talking with the safety panel right now. So could you stand by just some minutes?
Payload's flight. We're talking with safety, concerned about bringing this thing in with the panel still on there. I think we need to make sure we're not getting caught up in that direction. Let's get this thing focused.
SFU flight, payload's prime ops.
We're spinning our wheels.
Okay, let's go ahead. Is the main issue that you're talking with the safety panel the possibility of an EVA to push in the solar arrays?
No, I assume that they are talking with retrieving SFU as it is.
Okay, in other words, can we they're talking about visual verification?
Yes, but I'm not quite sure about that. But I haven't heard from the management people yet.
Okay. CSI panel's my loop.
We need to get. I think we're stalling.
Okay, Bill.
Let's get this off.
Bill, what's going on here? What's the panel talking about? What are the safety folks talking about? And we need an answer real quick here. This is my call. Go ahead, SFU flight.
Now the management team decision is to go back to the jettison procedure, and we like to start taking to it.
Okay, you're go for that.
Okay, we'll check that. Meanwhile, you might want to try the camera.
We're going to go ahead and jettison. We're going to begin the safing to it this time.
That was the SOC concurrence?
Yes, sir.
They
From their management team.
Okay, we have it. Okay. I concur with that decision. Capcom, we're going to pick back up with the jettison procedures. Okay, where's the SOC in? Beginning with safing 2, the SOC is in step 5, 2-5. You concur?
The capture of the SFU has been delayed by over an hour when the Japanese finally agree to jettison the panels.
Okay, picking up step 5, we'd like the crew to confirm a good
attitude stand by, friend.
for jettison.
We're not getting any data on the
We're headed towards jettison, right? Okay, can't wait. We're in the middle of jettisoning SAPs.
Endeavour Houston on SFU.
Critical, okay?
There it goes.
It's away.
Oh, hey, we can see it on air. Endeavour, we see it on TV.
SFU flight payloads on prime ops.
Roger, nominal jettison visually.
Looks like a good jettison. We need to hurry up and make sure we methodically take care of all of our subsequent steps and make sure we can grapple on time.
Okay, copy that.
Endeavour Houston, your crew's been very patient. It's time to release all that coiled, pent-up energy and your go for final approach. Let's go get it.
Thanks, I'm on our way.
Robot arm very steady according to the payload deployment and retrieval systems officer.
Payload, it looks really stable.
Yes, sir, flight. It looks wonderful.
It's 3:30 in the morning in Houston when Koichi Wakata successfully attaches the robot arm to the grapple hook on the satellite.
Okay, capture. 3 seconds.
Koichi's got it, Houston.
We knew the man would come through.
We see capture flight. We're waiting for rigidize.
Flight controllers confirm the successful capture of the Space Flyer unit, bringing to an
outstanding job, Endeavour.
Scientific research.
Grapple confirmed, flight.
Way to go, you guys.
Applause in the Mission Control Center following the successful capture of the Space Flyer unit, bringing to an end its 10 months in orbit.
Just under an hour later, the satellite is successfully lowered into the payload bay.
All right, is it going all the way around the Earth?
It doesn't want to go around.
Do you know, when we're at school, it almost goes 2 times all the way around? You think it's going pretty fast? Yeah? Okay. Do you know where it's going to land, Paul?
Where?
Where do you think it's going to land? Do you know where it's going to land?
Here.
Let's see. Do you know where the United States is?
No.
Okay, let's see. Does anybody know where the United States is?
No.
No? Let's see if we can find it. I think we got it turned up here.
I live in Texas.
Yes, you do live in Texas. We all live in Texas. Here it is. See, we got it. Oh, you know what? We had it upside down. There we go.
Okay, Brian. Speaker is on.
There are 2 spacewalks to test tools and techniques for the construction of the International Space Station. A portable work platform is attached to the robot arm to simulate space station conditions, and the astronauts manipulate screws and bolts with tiny tools to test the effects of weightlessness on building techniques.
To work to do all this stuff, and you can go upside down, and anyway, no buoyancy to fight. With that BRT, you're all over the pit box from that thing. Yep. That test cell was a bear, huh? It was, you know what it felt like doing the pit box? It felt like I was kneeling on top of it, just working inside of it. Great. It was really a neat feeling. But the test cell was no good, huh? Test cell I couldn't do. You were going to get a chance, and Winston's going to get a chance to try it. It was tough. I actually did get it. It's going to be worse next time, maybe even colder. Oh man, you guys are going to have a tough time. I got it to, here, you got the alert tone, and it's 9.3, yeah. I got it to get to the connector, and I even have it straightened out and popped on for a second, but then it has so much memory popped it off. Yeah, and it's not just straight memory, it's like memory that's in exactly the direction you need it to pop off.
During the spacewalk, flight controllers in Houston begin to worry about the Japanese satellite again. Its thermostats are working erratically, and there is a new danger, that its fuel pipes might freeze and crack.
Absolutely. The door worked okay. Maybe they'll believe us now. I mean, shoot, thermal vac, we told them that. No, we got
36 hours after its arrival in Endeavour's payload bay, the Japanese satellite presents its second problem. The temperature of its fuel pipes is dropping fast. The temperature in space is minus 49 degrees Celsius, and the fuel pipes could crack or break and leak hydrazine rocket fuel. This would put the shuttle and the crew in danger. Mission Control have not yet alerted the astronauts to the problem.
Yeah, we're still go for the maneuver on time. Econ, you ready to go ahead and pick
Houston
up
decide to move Endeavour so the payload bay is exposed to the sun. This could warm up the fuel pipes, but how far to move it, and for how long? This time there is no contingency script. Mission Control break the news to the crew.
Endeavour Houston for IV and EV. We've got SFU thermal problems. We're going to be going to a minus ZSI attitude. We'll keep you advised as to the timeline changes and the thermal eval. Just press on where you are.
If we have to bail out of this before the heaters come on, we're really getting it out of phase. Do you agree?
I think you're out of phase.
Right, I know. I'm hoping it's going to get itself back together here before we have to bail out.
I don't know if it's going to be enough. We'll see.
If it isn't, we're going to play game ZSI back to ZLB to kind of a manual to me. A manual. Actually, I'd go to ZLB.
The problem is you only got 45, 50 minutes to get into phase.
I'm not worried. That's not my biggest concern. We're going to do everything we can to get that, but don't want to get that thing frozen either.
Oh, you won't get it frozen. You always exit out. That's not a problem. The question is you got one shot here
right.
at this
Oh,
motor.
I know.
You ought to ask these guys whether for this next day pass they'd be better off going sun into the bay versus staying in this. I don't know what's better. I just asked the question.
The bottom of the SFU was still too warm for the heaters to come on.
So you're suggesting that if we get warmed up in this day pass that we're actually going to put ourselves in the same scenario again from before? That we won't get the heaters wanting to come on in the cold rotor stuff.
We should have a shaded bottom of the SFU, so we should be in good shape. Yeah, because the temperature sensors are in areas that are going to change very, very rapidly. There's such a small thermal mass in that area, and the radiation is out to space, etc. But at the bottom, they're nestled in that warm orbiter belly, and they're just going to change real slowly. So we need to get that cool so that the thermostats will come on. That's the goal.
Goal is to get some thermal demand down low on the heaters.
Yes. And if we don't have thermal demand down there, that's...
No, I know that, but
when is the heaters going to come on?
What is the thermal guys back there?
If the heaters don't come on in this day pass, you ain't going to make it.
Then you're not going to make it at all.
You ain't got a shot.
The best we can do is do what the thermal guys say.
Yeah, what is that?
He's saying stay in this attitude.
Yeah, Rick says this is our best attitude. But is it your best attitude given you're only going to have 50 minutes here in the daylight? That's all you're going to have?
It is our very best attitude that we know of.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Right. But, I mean, there's nothing better.
There's nothing better for the long term. What's the best for the short term? You don't have 5 reps.
I asked him that 3 times. I'll ask him the 4th time. But every time I
you have 5 revs, I agree with you. This is the best attitude, but you don't got 5 revs.
She's asked him what to do for this rev in preparation for the rotor.
Well, we'll see what happens.
One more time,
Well,
just to make sure.
we'll see what happens.
Well, you know, since Dan's been in quarantine, the furnace broke. Got that fixed. The sink clogged. Got that fixed. One of our cars, the battery died. Haven't gotten that fixed yet. And Andy kind of ran into the front door, and so there's a little crack in the glass there, which I'll get fixed tomorrow.
Is Andy okay, though?
Andy's fine. Andy's fine.
Well, that's all. That's all.
I haven't written any
Leroy, I said, Leroy's trying to take over the spaceship. He was up in the, did you see that? He was up on the flight deck, and I think it was Brent's legs were like in his way.
Well, Brent's foot one time was right in those
He kept pushing his feet out of the way.
And they're wearing those like little muck-luck things or whatever, you know, the socks that attach to the shoes.
In fact, several people have emailed me that they've seen a lot of Dan's feet.
I think they would see a lot of Dan's waving.
Yeah,
every time you see Danny's.
It's not looking good.
If it doesn't work here, then it may not, but it's just because, have you seen the figure about how far apart it is?
I understand exactly what you're saying. The only problem is when I look back at the data, it took many revs to do this.
This is a good thing to keep in mind and where the thermostats are that are driving these guys.
I'm just saying it took many revs. You don't have many revs. I don't know. I don't know the answer.
I think you can go by the bugs. The bugs tell you.
Repositioning Endeavour will use up fuel earmarked for the journey home, so some careful calculations are necessary.
What's the... I mean,
There they are right here.
Yeah, but the...
RCS2 is 3A.
Yeah, but our...
You want the RCS2 and the RCS1 bugs are controlling the temps up top.
RCS1 and 2 bugs?
Yes.
Here it is right here, Rob. That right here.
Yeah, but I did.
If you want the RCS2...
See, Roger gave me one that shows...
That is not correct.
This will work.
According to the decoder page that we've had from the beginning.
He gave me a brand new one that I gave to John to Xerox.
The thing we don't know, is what's the heater logic that turns the backups on before the primary, after. There's backup heaters that are on. Those could be the ones that are on for the top 2 temps.
Well, then why are they headed down?
I don't know. And so therefore, logic would say it must not be those, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What do you want to do for this bay pass to do the best you can?
You need to get those heaters on. Those heaters are on the bottom. The thermostats for those heaters are down in the bay. So you need to stay cold down there to force those heaters to come on. I don't
know either.
Logic gets confused about every 5 minutes.
What did we start out at? We obviously didn't start out before the EVA with the right attitude scenario to put us in the right scenario.
Queen. Okay, the queen. Oh my gosh.
There's more coming.
Oh my gosh. You want that one? It was nice seeing you, Jenny.
How'd they know we were going to be here? How'd they know we were here?
Because I'm trying to find
out. You must have your spies out.
Trudy must have told
Oh,
me.
that's pretty or what?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, they're from Brian. I can't see Jenny anymore, but they're beautiful.
Did we get ours already,
No, we haven't gotten it.
Yeah, she said Dad sent us flowers.
He did at the Cape Winds. All the boys did.
Oh, how neat. Yeah? Well, read it.
You read your
Mine just says, I love you, honey. Looking forward to seeing you soon, Brian.
Oh, how nice.
I'll bring him safely back to you. See you at landing, Brian.
Hi.
What a guy.
Brian, once again, just for a moment, Brian is the man. He's the man.
Oh,
that's a damn good one, too.
Yeah. I guess I'll keep him.
For some reason, we stayed in this attitude. It's going to start walking its way back up the... It's going to gain about 2 or 3 degrees of rev.
That's right, just as long as they're aware of it.
This plot works great, man. I saw it turning up before... There it goes, 10-8. And you can stand him down from the attitude. Not required.
No change?
No change. We got to 10-6 and walked back up, so we made it through the dwell. It's fun down here.
Endeavour Houston for the flight deck. SFU has bottomed out and it's on its way back up. Looks like we will not have to bail out.
Brian Duffy is instructed to maneuver Endeavour so that the sun falls on the Japanese satellite in the payload bay. After 3 orbits of the Earth, the temperature in the fuel pipes on the satellite is successfully raised. But Mission Control keep a careful watch on it for the rest of the flight. On Saturday, January the 20th, after a 3.7 million mile flight, Endeavour's braking rockets are fired over the Indian Ocean and the return to Earth begins. At 50,000 feet, Brian Duffy and Brent Jett take command of their spacecraft and guide it to a perfect landing back at the Kennedy Space Center.
1,000. A little bit of right to left drift. 100. Gears coming, Brian. Gear down. Looking very nice. A little high on the ball bar. Looking good. On the ball bar now. There's 50. Start. There you go. Another final. There's 30 at 230. 20 at 220. A little bit right. Looking good. 10. 5. Touchdown. Hey, shoots out. Be rotate. A little bit right, that's how I said. Okay, real easy.
An hour later, the hatch is opened and 6 astronauts are safely home. All turn out to be in excellent health. All are able to walk unaided within a few minutes.
Hey, Koichi. How was it, huh? It was wonderful. All right. Hey, now careful. Don't step down in that area. Okay. Okay. Just kind of crawl until you're all the way up here. Okay, that's good. Okay. Okay. Get your sea legs. You got them? Okay, next. All right, fantastic. Good, sir. Yeah, super. Thanks. 2 of them, huh? Good. Leroy. How you doing? Great, buddy. Might have to give you a few more.
Here you go, Leroy.
I wouldn't object. Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. Right behind you here. You going with him?
Yep.
Okay.
Good morning. Good to see you. Hey, come on. Make sure you don't step down in here.
Okay. My gyro's a little gauge, but I feel good.
That's all right. We'll get you in a seat over here.
Hey, Dave. Oh, good. Let me shake your hand before I stand up. How you doing?
Just take this real nice and slow.
Okay.
Very good.
All right.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. Right behind you.
Good to go now.
Just take it slow and easy.
All right. Thanks,
guys. Good to have you home.
Yeah, it's good to be home. Great. Weekend.
The cycle from team selection to mission's end has taken 13 months.
Hey, Doris.
You doing okay?
Oh, doing great. All right.
Hey, how you doing? How's the menu ready?
Lingerie, women's lingerie, please.
Poking and prodding.
You guys went great.
Yeah. Well, I had a good time.
I bet you did.
That was great. Fantastic.
Next time, take me.
This is the middle of their day.
Hey, guys, let's wait inside and talk about it. Hey, we're at crew quarters. Must be time to eat. Oh, these people up here. We were waiting.
All right. You're here. The great landing. Wow. That was... No,
it took some getting used to being. Oh, I need to shave that razor I had.
Yeah.
It was what was the electric razor? That thing doesn't work well on that.
But you felt good. You're not wobbly or anything.
Good.
Did
you hear the boom boom?
Oh, yeah. It was like you came out of nowhere. There was nothing, and then all of a sudden, there you were. Wow. It was great.
Hey.
We saw the landing
It's so good.
because they moved us. Because you, yeah. I think they changed these guys.
Oh, it was incredible from inside. We had a great time. And it was good food.
So food, you just come back from space, you know, you want to talk about his food.
Actually, I think I'm gained weight.
Well, you look like it. It was looking good. It was looking good. I was going to fatten you up when you get home.
I waved to you the whole single time. It's like, but after there was one, I couldn't see the orbiter, and it was just before me, I couldn't see it anymore.
Yeah? We gotta go up to the docks. I gotta take care of it. I'll see you in about 3 hours or so, okay?
Maybe we'll go back to sleep.
Oh, I'm sorry to wake you up.
Well, I stayed up the whole time, so.
You stayed up the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't that
Okay,
bad? Okay.
okay, we gotta get going.
All right.
Let me round up the guys.
Okay.
Here you go. See you. Go take a nap.
We'll try. Yeah. That's great.
Oh, good. I knew you'd be waiting for it. And then, I think in the one time.
The crews are up, everything's in order. I'm just waiting on the FTD to verify the tier logs get taken care of, and we'll be able to give you a go. Got it. 116. Got it, okay, Dick, everything's been accounted for, and we'll give you sequence 8, step 27, go to rotate.